All right, so it's been a little while since we've done a GameStop unboxing video where I order games from them and see exactly what they send us. It's been kind of interesting to see what they do send us because it's a good way to see how good their service is and what you can kind of expect at times. Now, it's been a little while because I noticed a lot of other people wanted to do them as well from what I'm seeing, so I figured I would let them kind of do their thing with that. And there were some interesting ones that came out of it. I mean, there were some pretty serious ones, but the ones that I really liked were the parodies that people put out. There was, for example, Sean's that he did, and he told me at a time, he's like, hey, I'm going to roast you in the video, so why don't we take a look at what he said.
But here comes my arch nemesis, Spawn Wave. With his little muscles, little shirt that's a little bit too tight, his little nice manicured beard trying to look all sexy for the camera.
No, he definitely said roast. Oh well. All right, well, Sean, tell you what, I guess you earned this shout out. Check out RGT85. He makes really good videos. But there were a ton. You had this one, this one, this one, this one, and wait a minute. Come on, have some respect for yourself. Fix your Genesis box. Bunch of savages in this town. But no, today we're taking a look at an interesting order that I put in. Technically it's two because I had to wait anyway, because the idea here was to order some of the higher end stuff that GameStop sells. The problem is it's usually not in stock, so I have to pretty much go through from like highest cost down until I find something that looks like it could be at least semi-interesting to order and then get it brought in. So it took a little bit of time, took 2 orders as I waited for their website to kind of circulate stock and bring some in, but I ordered 5 things that are on the more expensive side that a lot of people probably wouldn't even order online unless they could see it in person. I'm talking about things that are generally like $50 and above for retro stuff because you want to make sure the labels are good, and if you start getting close to the $100 mark, you might even want to make sure it's complete, and there's a few in here that I'm going to find out if they are complete because they are like disc-based ones that would come with the manual and case. That's going to be the really fun stuff. So let's go ahead and get into these. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the top box here. Up. There we go. And see what we have here. Let's see. And, ooh, I see Xenosaga 3 already, and we have something up here. What is this? What is this? ExpressVPN. How did they know to send this to me? I definitely did not put this in during a camera cut or even scribble the message there with a ballpoint pen because I couldn't find the permanent marker. That's right, Wood. I'm stealing your sponsorship segue. Thanks to ExpressVPN, by the way, for sponsoring the video.
VPN stands for Virtual Private Network and is a secure tunnel between 2 or more devices. The idea behind using a VPN is to protect your privacy and keep your data secure when browsing online. Web browsers may appear safe at face value, however, your data is easily viewable without a VPN. ExpressVPN takes the worry away of setting one up and makes the entire process super easy and seamless. Using ExpressVPN will help to mask your IP address, encrypt your data, and avoid nosy ISPs, cellular providers, ad companies, and hackers. You can also use ExpressVPN to access content that is region locked to certain countries. ExpressVPN has the fastest speeds when compared to other VPN services, 24/7 customer support, and apps for all of your devices that run on Windows, iOS, Android, Mac, Linux, and even your router. They also have integration for your Chrome and Firefox browsers with extensions. I use ExpressVPN when shopping online for all the necessary things in life. Definitely the necessary things. ExpressVPN is less than $7 a month and has a 30-day money-back guarantee. Take back your internet privacy today and find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description box, expressvpn.com/spawn. That's expressvpn.com/spawn for 3 months free with a 1-year package. Visit expressvpn.com/spawn to learn more. Take back your privacy today.
So let's jump into this box first. I also went ahead and double checked some of the pricing to get an idea as to what these should cost, and then of course what it costs through GameStop. As I have the invoice here, I went ahead and also kind of cut any of the pertinent information off there that I should cut off, so we have at least an idea as to what we're looking at here. Let me go ahead and we're going to get Xenosaga 3 out. That's the first one that we need to take a look at. Then we have Conker's Bad Fur Day. The reason I grabbed Conker's Bad Fur Day, if you remember, there was some controversy a little while ago about GameStop sending out a fake one. It was in like a red cartridge. So I also have my tools here. We'll open these up just to make sure they're real. Harvest Moon 64, which is an awesome game. And that's it for this package. The other one has a couple in there as well that we want to look at. So let's see, we have Xenosaga 3 was, they have $62.99. These are after the discount that they put on it, of course, because there is a discount with the Power Up Rewards member thing. Xenosaga 3 was $62.99, Conker's Bad Fur Day was $71.99, and then Harvest Moon 64 was $53.99. And like I said, I went ahead and grabbed some prices online to kind of take a look at. So Xenosaga 3 Complete is somewhere between $60 and $70 online. I saw a lot of varying sold listings on eBay, but they were complete. And this comes in at $62.99. So if this is complete, we actually have a good deal here. If it's missing something like the manual or even a disc, I guess, which would be really bad, then we have a bit of an issue because then the value would be probably less than what you'd be able to find online. However, so far, so good with the case, right? Other than the sticker there, but otherwise, so far, that looks good. Conker's Bad Fur Day online is roughly $61, so I'm actually off by quite a bit here. They charged me $71.99. I think it's after the discount because I think it was like $80 on their website. That's a bit much on GameStop's side there. Harvest Moon 64 is about $45 to $50. This was $60, I believe, on their website. After discount was $53.99, so that's actually priced a bit high as well. I'm noticing this with some of their higher end stuff. It's actually priced a bit higher than you would expect. Anyway, let's take a look, because if the quality's good, then some people will be able to live with those prices because it's warranted and everything. You're not buying off of a place like eBay, at least, so you could technically return these. Let's take a look right away at Xenosaga Episode 3. This is actually a fairly rare thing now to get on the PlayStation 2. And on the outside, at least, the box art looks good. It's not damaged really in any way. The sticker is the only annoyance that would have to come off. I really wish they would stop putting stickers on some of these that are just being sold on the website because they're not putting it in a store anyway. But I guess it's for tracking. And this one actually came right off. So that's good. It didn't like do that thing where it rips off and you still have some residue left. Now, that one came right off. And they didn't put any sticker on the spine, which was the worst thing they've ever done, where they put the sticker on the cover art and then slide it back in, nothing like that. So that's a shame. Okay, so right away, there's actually quite a few things missing. One, there's no manual. Two, they're missing the entire door that's supposed to be here. So because it's a dual disc game, you're supposed to have a door here that the top game goes in, and then the bottom game goes in here. So you're kind of supposed to just kind of swing around. And then there's obviously no manual. That's a shame, man. The game itself has been resurfaced, but no obvious gouges or damages to it. Nothing on the top that would cause it to, I guess, not play. So that looks fine. That's disc 1. Let's make sure we have disc 2. Let's just double check that, because that's not unheard of to accidentally get the wrong disc in these things. This one looks fine as well. Also resurfaced. You can really tell because on the center here there is some damage that usually happens from a machine if you over tighten it. And this is disc 2. Everything there looks fine. And the bottom looks fine as well. It's not to the point where it's not going to play or anything. But the one thing that's an issue is if I'm collecting, I would like this to be complete, obviously, because we're dealing with higher priced retro games here. And it is a shame to see this not be complete, because now if I wanted to, I would have to track down a manual and I'd have to track down a dual case, like one that of course has the plastic flap and everything there to hold them. So unfortunately, that's not a good pickup from GameStop, but we still have a few more to go here. So let's go ahead and close that up, put it to the side. Let's grab Harvest Moon and Conker's Bad Fur Day. Let's take a look at these guys just to see what we have. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Bit of a rattle, but that's normal for some 64 games. Label looks good. That is a solid label. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing there. Back also looks fine. I would say that this is in maybe I guess I would give it a good or a very good rating if you put it on like eBay. I mean, this is probably better than a lot of games on eBay, to be honest, with the way that label looks. It's interesting that it's kind of bulging open a bit on the sides. I'm not really sure why that is, but we're going to be opening it, so why not? We'll find out for ourselves. Because I have my tools here. We'll look at Harvest Moon in a second. Now I'm curious. Let's open this guy right up. So we'll get the game bit screws off of the back. And we should be able to actually see right in what's going on here. This is fortunately not a red cartridge, so we know it's at least on the outside looks good. Yeah, I mean, it looks Looks fine so far on the inside as well. We can go a little deeper here and get this guy apart. So I've kind of noticed something here. This has been opened by somebody before, because that's actually the wrong screw right there. I thought at first it was like a stripped screw, but I don't know if that's stripped or not. Actually, that might be just stripped. I'm looking at it, and I think it might be a stripped screw that's right there. It's very odd. It's like hollowed out. Almost looks like maybe a hex or an Allen key, but I think somebody just completely stripped that screw. So the screw is pretty badly stripped. I don't feel like cutting it right now with a Dremel, something I can do down the line to get it out of there and replace it. I mostly just wanted to see what was going on in here and why they would have taken that out. So I just kind of bent it out. This is just metal. I have other cartridges that I could pull this entire thing out of. They're like sports games. So I can replace that pretty easily. That's not an issue. And I just wanted to get a look at the board to figure out why they would have had to do that. And I don't know. This looks like, I mean, this is a legitimate board. No, that's not an issue. But I'm confused as to why they had to get this screw out or wanted to try to get it out. It's weird. It's almost like they wanted to open it, but they stripped it trying to get it out. And I don't know why you would go that far. Let me just verify that this is actually Conker's Bad Fur Day in a 64. So I went ahead and double checked it. It is Conker's Bad Fur Day. I'm not really sure what happened there. I also closed it up and bent the metal back down so it's not like bursting at the seams as much anymore, which is good. I'll probably just break out the Dremel, cut that, and then replace both screws and probably the metal since we had to bend it a bit to get it out of there. That's all easy to replace, not a big deal. I pretty much knew it was a real Conker's Bad Fur Day when I opened it up and saw the 2 chips because it needed 2 chips because it was a larger game towards the end of the system's lifespan. So otherwise, this is good. It's a little more expensive than it is online, but of course, if it was a bootleg copy, I could just probably go return it, and that would have been that. If you get a bootleg copy on eBay by accident, a lot of times they won't respond to you and they'll run off. So at least there's that, right? You have a little bit of buyer protection with GameStop compared to other places, and fake Conker's Bad Fur Days are online. They're kind of running around a bit now. Let's take a look at Harvest Moon 64, another one that I expect to be completely real. By the way, I didn't expect these 64 games to be complete. Not at all for those prices. They're very expensive to get complete for that. This also looks like a good copy of Harvest Moon 64. The label looks clean. Again, I know it's going to kind of vary based on your experiences with these that you order. And to be honest, it looks very, very real. Like the label and everything looks good. But we'll open it up just to verify while we're here, just because it's very quick to open these guys up with only a couple screws. You probably don't even really have to remove the metal inside either to really see, because you can pretty much tell right away just by looking through it. And it looks good. These screws are... That's so weird. Like, I see it again. The screws here are like mildly stripped. Not completely, but it's like somebody used a driver that was maybe a little too small for it and dug into it. That's both of these that have stripped screws. I wonder if they're opening these up just to verify that they are real, but they're using just a poorly sized screwdriver for this. It's very odd to see this. Maybe they even clean them. I mean, that's also something they could do. If you could open this up, pull it, you could technically clean it completely with like Brasso or whatnot. But you could technically clean the bottom much easier if you have it out like this. Of course, Harvest Moon uses a battery, and that battery looks very shiny. It's not a new battery, like they didn't replace the battery or anything, but it is a very shiny, good-looking battery. It's not like leaking or anything, and this is a good-looking board. So yes, this looks like a great-looking copy of Harvest Moon. Again, maybe it seems to be right in line. Actually, I will say that if I could have seen this beforehand, yeah, if I'm a collector, I probably would have spent a little extra money to get one that looked this good. So Harvest Moon 64 from GameStop looks great. All right, now on to the next box that we have here. I already cut that guy with the hammer. Let's open this up. This has a couple of other games in here that I want to take a look at. We can actually see both of them listed here. I did order a fairly expensive PlayStation 1 game, Brigandine. I went ahead and ordered that. I wanted to see if I ordered a more expensive PS1 game. This one was about $80, $71.99 after their discount. And then, of course, there was some tax and shipping and stuff on top of that. But I wanted to see if I would get a complete PS1 copy, like the disc, the manual, the case, because if I'm spending $80 on a game, which is right around what Brigandine I think is actually a little more expensive than that. I actually have a list here that I can double check. Brigandine is almost $90 complete online. So if I can get a complete copy of this for $71.99, that's actually a good deal, and I'm hoping GameStop comes through here. Mega Man on the Nintendo at $62.99. I saw some of those between $50 and $60, a little higher, but again, if it looks good like that Harvest Moon 64 as an example, I'll be pretty happy with it. So here we go, let's break these guys out. Let's see what we get. Here's hoping, you know, it looks like they just had the packing material here, and then they put everything into this. So we're gonna find out when we open this up what we have here. I haven't looked at it or anything because it's still sealed up, obviously. Here we go. Let's break this guy apart. At least they put it in like they obviously knew it was a bit more expensive because they put it in a bubble mailer and they also put packaging inside of it. So they at least work to protect it in transit. That's good. That's actually a little better than what you sometimes get from places like, what you call it, on eBay. All right, so I'm kind of feeling here. Oh, it's not complete. It is loose. That's kind of a shame. I think loose is a bit cheaper than what they have there. You know, like I said, you don't know if it's gonna be complete or loose. I was hoping I would get lucky. It has been resurfaced. But if you are, of course, someone who is collecting and you go on there, you might be a little disappointed to see this. Yes, it's just the disc. The disc itself looks fine on the bottom. I see a little spot here where it's kind of missing some of the top of it. However, I think that might just be a design of the disc because the text kind of goes over that. Although it looks kind of chipped. Nah, it's probably okay, I think. But this one hurt. I was hoping this would be complete because that would have been a great pickup from GameStop. If you're wanting to play the game, obviously you're going to be okay with this because it looks like it'll play fine. But if you were buying it hoping to collect, you might be a little annoyed by that. But let's take a look at Mega Man. And let's see what we have here. Okay, so Mega Man on the NES. Classic, obviously. A lot of people were trying to collect these and the price has been going up a lot. Okay, label looks good. Label is fine. Okay with the label there. Nothing really torn, nothing really faded. Trust me, I sold a lot of games like these in my time at stores, and when you try to sell to somebody, they will get a magnifying glass out and they will start really looking over it because obviously you're not spending little bits of money on these things. So let's open it up, make sure it's good, and then we'll have some final thoughts on what we got here, and we'll kind of do a quick overview of what we got. So let's pop this guy open. The nice thing about NES games is usually there are only 3 screws, a game bit driver. You can get these on, if you want one of these game bit drivers, which I recommend having, just to make sure a game is real. You know, like if you go to like a convention to buy these things, most people have no problem opening these for you, and if they won't open it, be careful, bring your own even. Like you can get a game bit driver like this that has a nice handle and it's really, really solid. They're like $5. They're on Amazon. I can even leave a link down below for you guys. But make sure you get one of these either way so you can verify that it's real. Like we're opening this up and I can already kind of look at the back here and it looks real already. And it is. You can also kind of open it up to see if there's any water damage because sometimes these will still work with light water damage, but you want to obviously verify it from there. This is the UN ROM, so it looks solid. The connectors at the bottom look very good. And again, you can also open them up and do some light work to it to kind of clean up the pins. But Mega Man looks good as well. This is sometimes you also have broken plastic rattling around in here, but both mounts are in good shape. So I think, at least with the cartridges, yeah, some of them are a little more expensive than I probably should have paid for them. Like Conker is probably a little more expensive. Harvest Moon, maybe a little more. But I have to at least give them credit on the cartridges. All of them have good labels. They're all correct. I don't really know what was going on with the stripped screws in both Conker and Harvest Moon. I have no idea why that was the case with just a regular Phillips head driver, but it was. The only issue I have now is, at least at this time, from my experience, I don't really recommend buying disc-based games unless you can verify in person at a GameStop store or a convention that it's complete, because this has obviously just the game itself in a sleeve, and this is missing the manual and the door in the middle. So if you're a collector and you're trying to figure out if GameStop is going to come through for you, they won't always. We saw it with the GameCube games. We've seen it with these. It is very much 50-50 with these games for for more collector's items, and it doesn't get much better as we're seeing here as you kind of go up the ladder and it gets more expensive. But that's going to do it here for our look at some of the more expensive retro games, I guess, that people might be buying on GameStop's website. They'll go in and out of stock randomly. So like I was trying to get Suikoden 2, but that was there for like a minute, and then I went to add it to the cart and it was gone. So it's almost like a little fight online to get these. But maybe I'll check out that. At this point, though, it's probably a good thing I didn't get it, because they were selling Suikoden for kind of pricey, and it probably would have just been like this. So it's still better probably to stick to the in-person conventions that you go to, or even online where you can actually see everything. And I would like GameStop to start doing that if they can. Get pictures of what you're actually buying rather than a stock image of a case or just the cover art for a game, you know. At least try to figure that out. That's kind of a speed bump they're running into with their retro section. Thanks guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. It does help out. If not, hit the dislike, and I'll see you guys in the next video.